Pretend play. Albert Einstein once said, "Imagination is more important than knowledge." Imagination can be developed through pretend play. Pretend play is also sometimes known as symbolic play. When we use something to represent something else, for example, a paper roll as a pirate telescope. Ahoy, me hearties! Pretend play and language both involve the same underlying ability to represent things symbolically. Quite often, children with autism struggle with pretend play. There are so many advantages to encouraging pretend play. It helps a child to organize thinking, relate events, understand abstract ideas, and develop empathy. Pretend play is an excellent way to expose your child to a new vocabulary. When children take on a pretend role, they imagine what it is like to be another character or person. Here's how to get started. You may want to decide the complexity of play based on how much pretend play your child currently understands. If your child is new to this, start with ideas that your child is familiar with. It may be the daily routine, and only 1 to 2 steps of pretend play may be adequate. For example, Rabbit wakes up. He drinks water. Or Rabbit is hungry and let's feed Rabbit. Yum, yum. But if your child is able to do basic pretend play, you may extend it more to less familiar themes. For example, seeing a doctor or going to the zoo. Pretend play with animals and birds is gender neutral and great for imagination. For a toy like this, there are multiple ways of playing and expanding the storyline depending on your child's language ability. It's often good to start with a fewer character, not to let the child become too overwhelmed with the toys. For example, our little squirrel is sad and lonely and have nobody to play with. So he decides to climb up the tree and look for the owl. But owl is sleeping. So he climbs up the ladder and found the busy bees to be playing with. Parents sometimes tell me that the child likes to watch them play, but can't quite play along. Is that okay? Should they continue? My answer is a definite yes. I consider the analogy of banking in ideas. As long as your child is interested, give him or her plenty of ideas by observing what you play. When he or she is ready or has adequate language, you may see her playing back or withdrawing these place ideas from the bank. Another important point to note is not to ask too many questions. I have observed parents who cannot help but swarm their child with questions like, what color is the ladybird? What sound does the cow make? How many ducks are there? Too many questions spoil the fun and the momentum of pretend play. My advice is, leave the teaching to later and just go with the flow to enjoy playing. Have fun, pretend play with your child.